Guys have no self-control. Let's be honest. Your girlfriend or wife could nibble on a Sour Patch Kid. We eat Sour Patch Kids by the bag. You don't nibble. Anything I have, it could be a bag of anything. I'm eating it by the bag.
More.
Yeah.
More.
Your wife will have that bag for a week.
Your wife or girlfriend could grab 2 or 3 Girl Scout Thin Mints and, nibble on them.
Right.
I'm eating them by the sleeve.
Exactly. So
once that plastic is open, in my opinion, that's a serving.
I mean, to me, that's just how guys are. It's like, what? You want me to not be a man? Well, guess what? There's a story about Tom Brady. Remember, all things Brady. Hall of Fame, statue, Barstool incident. Apparently, Julian Edelman, his former teammate, exposed him. Said that Tom was super tough on everybody leading up to the game about what they were eating and everything.
Well, Tom's a disciplined guy. TB12 is about fitness and diet and wellness.
He actually spoke about it. He said that everybody should play football. Why? Because it teaches the greatest lessons in life. It's hard. None of it comes easy. Waking up early, training, being prepared, all those things are great life lessons for everybody. It requires an insane amount of discipline to be a great football player, to be a Tom Brady.
I mean, you're tested with discipline often in life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, not to take it down a pervy route, but to be a loyal husband,
but
a loyal
wife.
No,
you're expected to be a loyal husband.
I know, but I'm saying
you low expectation having Mo Suga.
I'm just saying.
What do you want, a cookie?
Discipline, you go to a casino. Aren't you, isn't your instinct to be like, I just want to keep gambling?
The answer was, I don't want a cookie. I want the whole bag. That was the answer, Rich. So, discipline. Julian Edelman exposed Tom Brady by saying, Tom Brady, listen to this, Tom Brady's cheat meal when he was being wild and crazy was one wing. One wing. Uno wing. One wing would be Tom like, all right, guys, I'm letting loose tonight.
I must not be translating Spanish to English. Uno meaning one?
Yes. He would eat one.
Uno wing?
Wing.
Lame.
Tommy, I thought Tommy liked wingy. Apparently, he only liked them enough to have one, or his discipline is so superior.
Dude, I'm like you
that
too.
he was able to stop at one.
I'm like Bono of U2. Uno, dos, tres, catorce.
At least 14.
And that's one bone-in wing, you nugget eaters.
Yeah, that's craziness.
Does he at least dip it in blue cheese or ranch, or is he just like, no fixins?
He dips it in creatine.
Yeah, so there's so many questions just from that. It's
I
like,
dip it in B12.
Is one of anything ever worth it, really? Worth it? Now, I'm not saying we don't do it. Like, for example, we went out to dinner the other day, right? You know what I had? One cocktail. Was it worth it? I mean, I wanted it, but it's not giving me a buzz. It's sort of pointless,
now,
to be honest.
if you like wine...
If you're going to drink, I think you lean into it. Otherwise, don't drink at all.
Covino says, drunk or go home. No.
If you're not drinking for the buzz, then what's the point of the cocktail?
Now,
right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about that, but I did only have one because I'm trying to be disciplined.
If it's like a $20 fancy cocktail and you're like, oh, this tastes good. Or if you're a sommelier and you're like, oh, I really enjoy wine
Sometimes
because
a nice glass of wine to cap off the night. That's fine. I get it.
Yeah, but if you're having one drink, to me that's like it's like one hit. Are you getting high? What are you doing?
It's like Rich just having one cup of coffee.
Yeah, he needs at least
Precisely.
14 of them.
It's like seeing someone have a tall coffee at Starbucks. Like, venti or go home, pal.
Yeah, so is one of anything really worth it? Danny G says he could have one cookie and call it a day. For me, call me a gavone, a glutton, call me a crazed maniac, but that opens up the floodgates. Once I break the seal, and I'm like, I already did it. I already blew it.
You lose self-control.
I might as well eat the whole thing now.
We are hungry for more.
Yeah, give me the whole case.
But see, something like a taco or tacos.
Yeah.
If you guys, like when you guys brought crunchy tacos in here before from Taco Bell, I had to have like 2 or 3 of them. You can't have one.
Yeah.
And a wing, there's no way I could have one wing.
The
and
size of the thing makes it, If you're talking about like a massive cheeseburger, like I'm just going to have one.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if you're talking about a wing, that burns up in the atmosphere.
We're talking about appetizers.
I was Sam. If I sat you down at a restaurant and said, Sam, let's go out for a nice meal. I saw a meme, and it's so true. It said, you don't realize how little self-control you have as a grown-up until someone brings out free chips and salsa.
Oh, yeah. And for every 4 chips, that's 1 tortilla. So just think of how many tortillas you're eating, fatso.
Once you said that to me,
Yeah.
I hated you for it, but it changed my mind. Covino goes, think about it. If you have a big bucket of chips at a Mexican restaurant, if you size it out, each 4 triangle chips equal probably 1 tortilla. So if you
just ate 8
But
tortillas.
that's a taco tortilla we're talking about. Like we're talking about this one, right?
yeah, like a
So that's
flour,
4,
yeah, like but 4 of those.
Corn
cut that?
tortilla. Yeah, taco. That's okay.
But
you just
but
had,
those are
you just
small.
had 10
but
tortillas.
Ira Sam, if I told you ate a 12-pack of tortillas, we'd be like, what a gross fool.
But put this in perspective.
But if in the form of fried chip, you'd be like, oh, it's the appetizer.
Tom Brady, just again for reference, and you all know he's the most famous athlete of our time.
By the way,
6'4", 225. You imagine a 6'4", 225 guy who's burning lots of calories every day, working hard, really letting loose and unwinding with 1 chicken wing.
Did you just nibble
That's
at it?
He's a
insanity.
nibbler.
That's how insanely disciplined he was. And then it brought up a conversation too at our pre-meeting where I have this thing, and Danny G, I guess you
Well,
called me out on
Hold
it.
on.
So.
Rewind 1 second. Not just the chips,
Yeah.
any restaurant. We were at an Italian restaurant the other night. They bring out a big loaf of bread.
Oh, that's tough.
You could house the whole thing. In real life, you'd be like, you're not eating a loaf of bread, but at a restaurant, you'll eat a loaf of bread. Like a loaf.
Especially if they bring out the olive oil.
Oh,
It's about
how
the serving size.
How about
you
the
know?
that sweet brown bread at Cheesecake Factory? You're gonna have a little nibble. It's impossible. Impossible.
Unless you're swimming like Michael Phelps. Remember, he would have like 5,000 calories, 20,000 calories a day. But, yeah, same with Floyd Mayweather Jr. because they're training 5 hours a
But
day.
dude, that's what separates Tom Brady.
I
man.
know.
That's what makes him great, honestly. And Julian Edelman calling him out is funny, but it really does put it in perspective. But there's a thing I do, and I guess I really never noticed it till Danny G broke the glass on it.
It's wild because I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
And until Danny pointed it out.
And he's
I don't-
right,
I don't
yeah.
know how I never noticed this.
There's no debating it. What's up, Danny G?
Yeah, very first time I hung out with you guys at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're having fun. We're eating wings. And then on the way out, Covino turns to everyone in the group and says, how many did you have? How many did you have? What'd you have? How many wings did you eat?
And I do that with everything
Yeah.
in this company. Pizza, whatever it is. I want
Yo,
to
how
know
many slices you have?
because I don't want to be the biggest slob in the room.
Wait,
If we had the same amount, that's okay. But I didn't want to have the most or more than anybody.
Why
'cause
does
then
it
I hate
matter,
myself.
though? No,
'Cause
it's
I
about
need to know.
It's mental.
I
It's
need
mental
to know
for
how
him.
much I have to
So
hate
if
myself.
whoever has the most wings is just the slob.
Yeah, you're the grossest. As long as I'm not the
But it's
grossest,
like you're
it's good.
just eating because you want to eat
He,
them.
just doesn't want to, like, if Patrick, one of the editors, his mom is kind enough, Maureen,
Oh,
will
yeah.
bring us cookies once in a while. Covino will pull me aside, and I think he's about to ask me something like real talk, like, yo, bro, I got to talk to you. And I'll be like, yo, bro, how many cookies you have?
I want to know. I want to know. Is my willpower the worst here? Who's the biggest slob? What's going on? If Rich says I had 2 and I had 1, I feel great. Or if I had 2, he had 3, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
That
Now-
means I'm still in
Yeah.
the game.
And when we were at the Tempe remote for
Yeah.
the graduate hotels, we got pizza by the slice after the night out.
Yeah.
And while everyone was sitting around eating, Covino took roll call. He's like, how many slices did you have? How about you? To see if he could have one more.
Now, the crazy part is he goes,
You got to
Rich,
gauge it somehow.
he goes, Rich,
though.
you down for slice number 2? Danny G, what about you? When we said, yeah, I'll get a second slice, that gave him the mental ability to then
Yes.
himself get a second
But Danny
slice.
G, that's how you got to gauge things. Because if you're not gauging things and you're just going buck
But you
wild
just
and
look in a
everything,
mirror. You're
that's-
like, okay, I'm okay.
But you got it. Like you're comparing yourself amongst your peers, right? If you're always eating more than them, guess what? You're probably the biggest guy in the room.
Maybe you have a really crazy high metabolism, though. Like, I look at you
Yeah.
are in shape.
You know how much discipline I have just for this?
How about whenever I'm out with you guys, I will just always say I had 8 slices of pizza, so you could just go to town.
See,
Even if I didn't.
He's not going to
Nice.
believe you.
that's a
Right?
friend.
He wants the truth.
I
He's serious
had
about
10
it.
I had 14 chicken
Now
wings.
you're a liar. You're lying
Yeah.
to me now.
Jay Stu hit us up,
Yeah.
one of our good pals, the producer of Doug Gottlieb. He said, Oreos, I can never just have 1 or 2. It's like,
Give me a
you will
break.
always have
you
a
know who
whole.
can?
Yeah.
Tom Brady has only one little. He's twisted off.
Stop.
And he just eats the chocolate, not even the icing part.
No icing for
Yeah.
TB12.
That is just honestly,
Yeah,
it
no.
just goes to show you why he's better than everybody.
Oreos are one of those cookies where you have to have a sleeve.
I'm with
Yeah,
you.
I
And
agree
by the
with
way,
you.
Here's the torture. Here's the torture that I live with, and most guys do too. I mean, most guys' girlfriends like mine don't do cookie reviews. My girlfriend does crumble cookie reviews every Monday. But on top of that, she's always buying limited edition Oreos. There's a new flavor every week practically. Anytime there's a new flavor of anything, she buys it just to take her little nibble, and then she leaves it there for me to dwell over all day long. Like, are you going to eat that? Because I want to just house
Danny,
it.
it's insane.
It's insane.
His girlfriend will go to Crumble, which is like a pricey, like awesome cookie biscuit shop here in L.A.
I have to throw them away or else I'm going to eat them all.
And she'll order 5 different big-ass cookies.
And she'll take little bunny bites.
Ooh, this is a good one.
And that's it.
This is a good one. How do you think Covino feels when those are laying there?
They're screaming my name the entire night. I could hear them calling me through the pantry.
I got to tell Jay Stu and Danny G this.
Jay Stu's not alone, by the way. Those Oreos, they're the worst.
What do you think the serving size is?
That's the other joke.
What do you think
of an Oreo?
It's bad. It's not as bad as I thought.
Of an Oreo?
Yeah.
2.
I'm going to say 4 cookies.
3.
Really?
Okay.
3 is the serving size.
Yeah.
Do you think many?
Try at least 6, 7 you had.
Yeah.
So double every little stat on the back. Their stats, right?
Not 3, not 4.
And I guess with desserts,
not 6.
it depends on if you've had a meal, right? Because then, like you said, Covino, I could have 1 cookie and I'm good. I just want that sweetness.
I don't know how you do that.
But
by the way,
we talked about one time. We said all you can eat, and you said you could do an all you could eat dessert buffet.
You know what? I have a confession. I have an Usher confession. I don't think I've ever said this publicly. This is my confession. This is my confession. Because I like to
You were once on my 600-pound life?
No, but I feel weird saying this because there's a macho side to me that doesn't want to admit it because I think it's like something that women admit to. But I think I'm addicted to chocolate. Like, I crave chocolate every day. I'm like, I need chocolate right now. Like, what? Give me some chocolate. And I can't just have like a little nibble. I need something right now. I think I'm seriously addicted to it. I feel like my body really does crave that. Am I the only guy?
That is a girl thing to say.
It is, right? No, but am I the only guy?
No, of course. I'm sure other people love
I'm
chocolate.
not saying just because I want sweets and I feel like I'm worthy of a dessert right now. I really feel like I need it at this point. Is that impossible?
Remember the movie Mean Girls 20 years ago when she sabotages the Mean Girls by giving them like fattening health bars that they think are
yeah,
what if we just sabotage Covino and every day we just had chocolate in the studio and all of a sudden then Covino becomes like Ben Stiller at the end of Globo Gym at the end of Dodgeball.
Let me give you the exact situation and scenario that happens at every office and workplace around the country. Whenever someone's generous enough to bring in snacks or donuts or muffins or cupcakes, you try to play it cool. Maybe you cut something in half. And then before you know it, you're just eating the whole thing. Because you don't you're cutting these little tiny pieces. You're cutting these little baby pieces because you're like, I'm just having a little baby piece. You know what? I think I'll have another little baby piece. You know what? I'll have another little
it's
baby
funny. It's
until
like,
you finish the whole thing because
Cove.
you're not Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, the only human to have willpower to eat one chicken wing.
One wing.
It reminds me of every kid's birthday party. You know when they slice the pizza real thin,
Yeah.
like little slivers,
I'll take a little slice.
and you're like,
Isn't it called party style where it's squares?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And then
do
you
that
eat the
too.
little like corner piece, and it's just like a little.
That's tavern style, yeah, with the squares. But no, you're talking about the thin.
Like instead
There's
of 8 slices, they'll make
88 slices
Instead
in
of-
just a regular pizza.
You're right, Dan. Instead of 8 slices, they make it like 24.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's have another. You just keep eating one after the other little sliver.
Because I would
I
say
think it's also referred to as party style. I'm just looking it up on the internet.
No, I
'Cause
think
used
you're
to
right.
work I used to work at Domino's, and they would specify.
Know what I want to
Because
have?
it's not a
I-
tavern.
Know what I want to
but,
have? Dan,
I'm gonna go with my research here, Dan.
hey, Dan, can we do a
Iowa Sam's never wrong, by the way. He's just
Can we do a
Well, Dan says tavern, I say party.
Hey, Dan Byer, are you interested in hosting a panel show between Profet and Iowa Sam?
Don't get me started.
Any interest there where you throw them a topic and they,
that's
welcome
so funny.
to Kill Me. No, I'm kidding, guys. Kidding.
It's just so funny to put it in perspective to see the difference between most people, unless you're a slim good body, unless you're a bodybuilder
Or
or a
training
fitness
for
expert
something,
or
yeah.
training for something, the regular guy who loves his treats, who wants to snack and really, struggles with self-control and willpower because you're a guy and you're like, versus a Tom Brady. And that sort of
I'd rather just not have any wings, Covino.
You know, same, man. I don't know how he does it. I'm with you on that. I'd rather have none than one.
But
when it comes to that.
it just shows you, though, like you said, because even guys that are in pretty decent shape, guys that go to the gym, care about health and fitness, it's very difficult to, with a straight face, say, oh, yeah, I could have one wing or no French fries or, oh, one chip at the restaurant. That's psycho behavior, and that psycho behavior brings you to 10 Super Bowls.
Tommy like one wingy.
That psycho behavior is why you look the way he looks at 46.
Yeah.
That psycho behavior is why he is, could still play in the NFL today.
You know one of the big reasons why Mike, who runs this place, got the job to run this place?
How?
This is how he orders ribs.
One rib.
One rib?
One.
Yeah, one?
One from I'm going to get you, sucker.
One rib.